Hey John, it's Nacho. How you doing, man? And yeah, man, let me know if that's something you'd like.
The mobile number you've called is currently unavailable. Welcome to the EE voicemail.
Hello? Hey, is this Phil? I'm gonna call him back. Hello? Am I speaking with Phil? Bro, what the fuck, man? Hello?
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. Welcome to the Tesco mobile voicemail service. We will connect your call using World Credit.
Welcome to GitGas voicemail.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
If I had $1 for every single time I've been sent to voicemail this past month, I wouldn't necessarily say I'd be a millionaire, but I'd have a lot of money. Cold calling is hard. If you expect to get into this and think this is gonna go smoothly, I'm gonna book deals and make a lot of money, like no, nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing is gonna go your way. This shit will test your patience. But again, I'm happy to do it and I'm here for the experience. And really, I'm just making this video so I can, again, track my journey, track this skill that I'm learning in sales. I've done appointment setting, I've done closing, and now I'm doing cold calling. I know eventually this video is going to be good in the future, because if I do end up working for some sort of company in the future that does involve cold calling or does involve some sort of sales, again, I can just show them this video right away, tell them, hey, listen, I've been through this and I know how to strategize myself. I know how to strategize my approach so I can book qualified calls. And yeah, I'm just going to very briefly talk about my journey, talk about the things that I've learned, and explain why learning a high income skill is so important and to just always keep moving and learning something new. Now, first, what I sell is a fitness coaching program. Part of it is ran organically by the coach and Instagram and everything. He gets some of his clients from there, but he hired someone in an agency that basically run ads. They run ads in Facebook, and the ad is labeled as getting in shape for free. The catch over there is that they get inside the free community and they're able to use a couple of free meal plans and trading plans over there, with the hope that eventually we build a relationship with them and then eventually we sell them into the program, basically, which is the paid program, which is a high ticket program. But yeah, in Facebook, the leads just pretty much put their information in the ads if they want to get in shape for free. And my job is just to call them, qualify them, know their desires, where they want to go, know their insecurities and like why they want to get in shape, use that against them so I can see if they actually want to get into the program. And that's what sales is at the end of the day. Like, you emotionally manipulate, not to convince them to sell you onto the program, but to make them realize that this is something that they need. I've had many calls this past month with people that just have no desire to get in shape. They had the motivation when they filled out the form, but they didn't care then. They had no pain, no problem to tackle, and it's just not worth pursuing that sort of lead. Right over here is the lead list that I have been provided with. There's over 500 contacts in this list, by the way, so I've dialed every single person over here. And as you can see, every single thing here is color coded. What's in green means that we've basically closed the lead. What's in red means it's just an unqualified lead, meaning they don't have any money, or there's no problem to tackle, or it's a failed number or a wrong number. What's in orange is potential leads that, there's a situation over there. Basically, I just describe where we last ended up. For example, this person, I called him and he told me he remembers, but I want to confirm if this is something he still wants to do. I don't know, maybe I texted him in messages or something. But the whole point is just to show you guys, like, this is how I organize everything. I need organization because there's over 500 contacts over here, and you can't just dial. Like, you need to track, you need to take notes and see where you guys ended off. I also like to strategize before I start a cold calling session. I cold only for the UK, so I start usually at 1 p.m. UK time all the way to 4 p.m. UK time. And I like to strategize every single time before the call, just like to lead a little bit of a note. Today's strategy was hit up the leads that I hit up in May 5th and May 7th. Today is currently May 16th. And then hit up the leads that I called yesterday at 7 p.m. So at 7 p.m. I'm gonna start cold calling again. But yeah, I always like to strategize, and then I leave a note over here of the contacts that I have reached. Every single stick represents a contact that I have reached, not the number of calls, the contacts that I have reached. And today so far I've reached 54 contacts. About 4 people have responded to me. One of those, we were in a very good call, but his phone ran out of battery. Yes, like little things like that are gonna happen. They're gonna test the shit out of your patient. I tried calling him 30 minutes later and he's not picking up. So we'll call him at 7, see what happens. Basically, the steps of this have been super crazy. Like, I first started, I was so excited to get into this because I had to start on my fitness coaching business. If you guys didn't see my last video, go check it out. And I'll just explain why I had to shut it down. And I was looking for a sales offer. I finally got a sales offer in the community that I'm in. I was super excited to just start working, putting in the reps in and get my hands dirty again. I wanted to be busy. I wanted to work. I just wanted to do more, you know? So I started putting in the reps. I started analyzing a lot more of what I was doing. Every single approach was different, and I tried my best in every single call that I did until I got to a point where I basically just had to repeat that process. And yeah, so I started putting in the reps and just kept going and going and going. I learned as I went through. Basically, that's how you learn in sales. That's what I've learned, at least in sales. It's like you don't just read a book, learn, and go and do it and expect it to work out. Like the only way to learn in here is by doing the reps, doing. If you don't put in the reps, like, you're not gonna learn. And slowly, as you get better, you get a lot more confident. You start to sound a lot more empathetic and more sharp in your calls. But here's the thing with cold calling, like, you don't want to sound completely dominant. You want to be more, a little bit, you know, calmer. Because in the prospect's minds, there's like, yeah, you're not gonna sell me shit. You're not, like, fuck you. Who are you? You know, like, why are you calling me in the middle of the day? I don't even know you. So you can't just be like, you know, big boss, high tone. Like, you got to be chill, empathetic, and take it in a slow pace. Learn where they are right now, learn where they want to go, and learn why they want to go there. You know, have pain, pick out those pain points, so then you can use that against them later down the call. I started picking up patterns then eventually of, like, some people wouldn't answer the phone, so I would just send them messages. Some that wouldn't answer messages, I would then answer on WhatsApp. In fact, they've taken my WhatsApp account down multiple times because I just, you know, like, I can't hit up more than like 10 leads a day or something, or otherwise they take it down for 24 hours and I can't access my chats. But yeah, I just like learned little patterns there and then of like what I had to do in order to get someone's attention. Because as soon as you get them on the phone, like, you can, there's a higher chance for you to book in a call with them versus when you just message them in messages, because in messages, like, they can just ghost you right off the bat. They can leave you on read. So I started doing that more and more, analyzing patterns, keep, you know, putting in the reps, and I closed my first deal for £90, which is about 98 euros. It's not that much money, but I'm still very glad that I, you know, just made my first sale with cold calling. That was about 3 weeks ago, and since then I have not closed a deal. And I think the reason for that is because the ads are targeted as, you know, getting in shape for free, and that just attracts like broke leads. Basically, that's what I believe, at least. So I'm in the stage now where I'm like kind of plateauing, and I'm just trying to do, again, like, I'm analyzing these patterns to see what works. For example, the pattern that I have right here is try calling people twice in a row. Yesterday, for example, I called a contact. He sent me the voicemail the first time. I called him again directly, and then he picked up the second time, and then we ended up booking a call with him. He didn't show up to the call, but that's just what happens. So yeah, I'm just analyzing what's working, what's worked for me before to book calls in the past. I'm analyzing this kind of questions that I'm following, seeing how I can empathize with the person as well. But here's the thing, like, the person also needs to be in that empathetic mood of like, oh, okay, this guy can help me, right? That's how you got to present yourself. You got to present yourself as a figure that is trustworthy. The prospect needs to look at you and think, okay, this guy can actually help me and can solve my problem. He's not just some random guy calling me in the middle of an afternoon. So yeah, I'm basically in the trenches right now. I'm just trying to close a deal, but at the same time, this is like what I gotta go through. This is what I gotta learn. You need to experience how tough it is to actually close a deal, and you need to experience what it's like to, you know, ask the right questions to qualify people. That's sales right away. Like, it's patience. It's gonna test your patience, but you know, when you close a deal, it feels fucking good. You know, this is a necessary skill to have in my backpack, because if I do end up cold calling in the future for another company, the skills that I'm learning here, color coding everything, organizing the lead list, strategizing before my calls, analyzing contacts, and just observing everything from a bird's eye view, I can use that. You know, and I have a competitive advantage over all the other people in the office that are also cold calling, for example. So it's necessary to go through this. I'm not planning on doing this for the long term. This is just a little bit of a side job at the moment. I'll have to leave this around middle of July, because I'll be going on a trip, and I won't be able to dedicate my time to this basically when I'm on that trip. But yeah, if you're watching this and you do end up getting into cold calling in the future, or any sort of sales, by the way, like, just know, have some patience. If you're an impatient person, good luck to you, my friend, because you're gonna be tested. This, at the end of the day, is a numbers game. The more reps you do, the more you're going to fail, and the more you fail, the more you're gonna learn, and the more confident you're gonna get, basically, with your approach. The more numbers you do, the higher the probability is of you closing a deal, and the higher probability it is for you to make more money, basically. Sales is literally all a numbers game, but it also depends on how good you are. And don't just be shooting in the dark every single rep. Don't be doing the same dumb thing. Don't be doing the same mistake. Don't repeat mistakes. If you sounded like a robot in the first call, don't sound like a robot in the second call. Like, learn from your mistakes and just get better by every single rep you do. And it's not hard. It's little things that you can fix very, very easily. But it requires balls. And that's part of the game. That's sales at the end of the day. Sales is having balls and having patience. And that's it. And just having the willingness to do the work, and that's all. Now, this is coming from a person who's made 90 pounds from sales, and at least in cold calling, but you can ask that to any sales person. You know, they're gonna say the same thing most likely, at least from, you know, the sales people that I've spoken to personally and virtually. But again, just like how I explained in my last video, right now I'm in the stage where, listen, I'm building skills, I'm building experience, and right now I'm going to move to London. I can't start a business there. I can't work for someone else. I'm going to be building and building and building and building, and I'm going to be in this position, not necessarily with cold calling, but just building skills in general for the next 3 to 4 years. I'm completely fine with that, bro. I'm completely fine with that. A lot of people want to make quick money nowadays with trading and e-com and dropshipping, like whatever. And nothing against those business models, by the way, but it's just like, focus in the long term, focus in the skills that you can use in the future. Some will argue that I don't have to go to college for this. I've already explained in my last video, the college I'm going to is very, very different. It's not necessarily a traditional type of college where it's theoretical. The one I'm going to is a lot more practical, and it's gonna allow me to learn a lot more skills in the real world. And when I graduate college, I'll be able to capitalize from those skills that I learned in college, and it's also gonna open doors for me to expand my career and see where I go. Everyone wants to kind of just skip the growth process. No one wants to build the foundation and experience, and like, you know, they just want to jump right ahead into doing e-com or get rich with a meme coin or crypto or whatever the hell is out there. Me, I'm more focused in building pillars in business so then I can just capitalize on that in the future. And like, listen, right now it's not the time for me to start a business. It's just not the right time. People say there's no perfect time, and I struggle with this myself. Like, oh, there's never a perfect timing, but like, this is literally not the right time. I need to learn, I need to grow, I need to build skills, and this is just part of it right now. This is the stage where I'm at, and 4, 5, 6 years later down the line, who the hell knows where I'll be? But I can tell you right now, I'll be a lot smarter, I'll be a different person, and I'll have a lot more fucking money. And it's an exciting journey. I wish the best for all of you as well. If you are in a similar situation like me, just what other choice do we have but to keep going? You know, we have a dream to chase, we have a dream to fulfill, and, you know, make it come into reality. What other choice do you have? Like, what, go to a normal college and work a job and that's it, and not work on your dreams? Like, no. We're made to fucking pursue, bro. We're made to fucking chase dreams. But yeah, this has just been a simple rant talking about my cold calling experience. This video will probably be out tomorrow or during the weekend, so whoever sees it, thank you for watching, and follow for the rest of my journey if you want to see how it goes. And I will see you next month for another video. Take care.